We have different language families among the 19 different pueblos of New Mexico. Those families are Tiwa, Tewa, Towa, Keres, and Zuni. And then among the other tribes, meaning the Diné people, the Navajo people, and the Mescalero and Jicarilla Apache tribes, they have their own language family, which linguists normally refer to as the Athabascan language family. So we are a state with a varied linguistic background in terms of indigenous peoples of New Mexico. These languages are unique in that they are not spoken anywhere else in the world. And especially among the Pueblo languages, those languages can only be found here in New Mexico. These languages were here long before first contact, meaning in the 15th and 16th centuries, when Spanish explorers first came through the Southwest. Pueblo languages and Pueblo language communities were already here. And so these languages, in terms of their longevity, have probably been here for several hundred, perhaps even thousands of years. Because of the variety of language dialects we have, even in a given language family, like say Keres, for instance, we have 7 different dialects of that language. In Tewa, you have 6 different dialects. But because these languages are only spoken in a particular language community, it's very easy to identify where you come from. As a Keres speaker, you can identify who the person is from what community just based on the dialect of that Keres language that that person speaks. In that sense, our own identity as speakers of these languages becomes very important. And in that way, I think our languages are unique. As a Keres speaker, I couldn't go to a Towa speaking community and understand that those languages are different. How the complexity of those languages has developed over time to where these are very distinct language groups in such a small geographical area, I think is also another unique feature of our state. One of the things that makes our state really unique is the fact that so many languages have persisted for so long. Unfortunately, in other parts of the country, this hasn't been the case with many native languages that have either gone by the wayside or there are no more speakers left of these languages. We're lucky here in New Mexico that at least up to the present time, many of these languages were actually very vigorous, meaning that you had this persistence of multiple generations in communities speaking the languages. That's unique considering all of the foreign contact, different kinds of events that have taken place over the course of history. It's always amazing to me that these languages have persisted to the present time, when I see in other places that this hasn't been the case, that in fact many native languages are either down to their last 2 speakers or they don't have any speakers at all. We know that here in New Mexico, some of that persistence has been basically because people valued that language, and people, I think, have always maintained, especially among Pueblo communities, that critical link that language plays with culture. Language is what gives life to all of our ceremonies. Language is really the part of who we identify ourselves as Pueblo people. People often say, when that's lost, then what do we have left?